Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Legacies. This is episode 8 of season 1. Hopefully guys are enjoying the series so far. Last episode was really interesting. I do like the fact that we didn't have every single character involved in the episode. So we had some of them in that one, and we had some of them in the one before, and we kind of giving each character a bit of time to shine, which I think is really, really good. We had like a new baddie, or whatever you would call it, the Necromancer, you know, and I really like his thing that he's able to do, you know. He's able to bring people back from the dead, obviously like not permanently or possessed or something, but we did see, obviously, in the episode before, Joe come back, the bio mum, you know, Lizzie and Josie's mum, she come back, Rick's wife, and it was nice to see her good reminiscing. But obviously the last episode, yeah, he brought back Cassie, and that is Raphael's girlfriend from the past, the one that he accidentally killed in the car crash. She come back, she did tell him that she forgave him, which was nice to see. But also she was saying, look mate, you know, why did you kill me? That is literally what she said. And she was trying to get to the, you know, like, get deep down into him. It's kind of like a therapy session. Yeah, he was holding something within. He was, you know, not being true to himself and what happened in that night. He may have said, he's saying that he, you know, everything that he said he knows, but she's like, no, there's something there. And he actually managed to, well, dig deep down, like get it out. And he was saying, look mate, I was angry because I didn't win a championship or something, and then I was mad at you because I thought that you was cheating on me, and we had an argument, and obviously on the drive home I was fuming, and you always tell me to stay, you know, like don't go around the corner as fast, and because we had an argument and everything that's just happened, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it to annoy you even more. But unlucky for him, the road was wet, they skidded, they crashed, and that's how she died. So it's pretty devastating, that. And obviously like it's good that he's expressed that and got it out, because it'll help him progress and move forward, you know, instead of like always having that thing deep down that he's kind of suppressed and pushed away. He's actually voiced everything now, and it's all out in the open, and it could probably help him move forward and get on with his life. And a person that also is trying to move forward and get on with her life is Hope. And we found out in the last episode that a reason why she's struggling with everything is because she doesn't know whether her dad's sacrifice was worth it, and whether Klaus obviously is suffering in a miserable pit in his home, on his own, sorry, or whether he's actually found peace. Well, the Necromancer, yeah, he said, look, I can show you, I can tell you about your dad, but you've got to help me do something. Because he said that the dagger, yeah, he was trying to figure out where he knew that dagger from and why he's so drawn to it. He was saying everybody trembles at the name of the Necromancer, and she's like, look, nobody knows anything about the Necromancer. Look, here's the history books. And he read it, he was fuming, he was like, who done this? Let's go find out. So they got MG, he come over, Hope went over, and he went inside his mind, into his subconscious, and while he was in there, he ended up locking Hope in there while he went in search for information about this dagger, and Hope was left in a deep dark pit on her own. And obviously she was crying, she was devastated that she'd left there. She never felt like, she said that she don't want anyone to suffer that loneliness, and she's like, she wants to know really badly whether that is where her dad is or whether he has found peace. So it's good how they tied those two in. I kind of thought Klaus was teased quite a few times the last episodes. I did think he was going to make an appearance, but he sadly didn't. But obviously, whilst Hope was doing that, this Necromancer took control of Cassie in the present, made her go and get the dagger, bring it to him, and then obviously he took that dagger to Malavo, which is really interesting, because he told us that Malavo is a place that locks up like mystical creatures and all that stuff, and pretty much it's been locked for, well, for God knows how long, forever. But the 3 keys, the knife is one of them, and there's 2 more, but he didn't disclose. But he was saying that the reason why he's so drawn to it is because he got killed off that dagger. He was stabbed by it, and that is obviously how he died. So he's got a connection towards it, and it rolls a question for me anyway, is that I wonder if that is why LANDON was so drawn to it. I wonder if somehow he's been stabbed with that in the past before, which would make it so interesting, because he was again tied back into the story at the very end of the episode when Hope's watch was blinking, and it was the same thing that she said to use when you get in trouble. If you need me, turn it, I'll know, I'll come after you, I'll come and help you. And then it cut, and it was a person wearing leather gloves. He was typing on a keyboard. They had his picture with his mum, it looked like, and then they was watching on a screen the dagger, which dropped into like some sort of lava or something, some sort of oil, and I'm guessing going to Malavo. So I mean, it is interesting that we tied them two in, and I'm thinking LANDON's going to come back into today's episode. But also as well, I like the fact that the Necromancer is not completely dead. You know, he actually come and he said, look, I've done my bit, I've returned the key, that's one lock unlocked. there's there's two more, sorry, and I'm free now or something, and he disappeared. So I mean, it's well interesting. I'm assuming that once these doors are open, these locks are open, that hell's going to come out and they're going to try and bring back all the magical supernaturals back into this Malvo place or whatever. So really excited for today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and if you do, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. Oh, look at her. She's been in a fight.
There's something I need to tell you. I just don't know how. Maybe I should start from the end.
I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Interesting start, mate. It's kind of like shows you the end clip and go back to the start, but she said she's going to show us the end.
On second thought, I'll just start at the beginning.
Oh, there we go.
Where the hell do you think you're going with my keys and without telling me? You're ditching school right before the midterm exams begin. And you've made it very clear to me that you see me as an authority figure and nothing more.
I'm going after Landon. If this thing is glowing, that means that he's in trouble.
He's definitely a dad in the present. How would you approach her?
This is embarrassing. You've been my best customer this week and I don't even know your name.
Landon. I'm, pretty sure you gave it to me.
Look, if you can't handle grade school geography, you're gonna flunk all your exams.
Are Lizzie and Josie studying? Maybe we should focus on them.
Yeah, well, they're still in Europe.
Take the next left. He's on the move.
All right.
Nah, my dog's gonna die. Oh, no, it's not.
Don't touch that.
Is this an actual samurai sword?
Don't touch that either. In times of emotional distress, I find that dessert really helps.
I know this is a lot to put on you, me just showing up like this, but I'd really like to know more about...
Relax, you'll be fine. The drugs will wear off soon.
Good. How we got to see... You know what? I like how we got to see him press the button. That was actually really good. Smart thinking from him as well in that situation. Now, she just got a pie out the oven and said dessert, but to me, that pie is a main dinner, a main tea, whatever you want to call it, mate. You have a pie and chips or something. Don't have it for dessert. You have like ice cream or chocolate cake or something, custard.
18 and a half hours is a long time to spend on the road. And even
Yeah, that's
longer
well long.
when you're being car schooled.
Hey, before we go in there, I just want to make sure we're clear.
Then you're Batman and I'm Robin. Either way, you call the shots.
I didn't want to burden you with this, but I don't do well in captivity.
Quit playing games. What'd you call?
I don't even have a phone.
I never said you did. So I suggest you spill your guts before the iron heats up.
That's well interesting, mate.
No.
Hi.
What a twist.
What are you watching? Someone knew we were coming.
I thought you believed me. Now I'm not giving you anything.
He'll talk as soon as it touches him. As soon as it touches
Please
him.
don't do this. That boarding school I was telling you about, it's a school for vampires and witches and werewolves and because they're real. You gotta be kidding me. You believe that, but not that I'm your son?
Imagine seeing that.
You have a mouth.
She definitely knows it's his kid. I think she had the Malvo thing on her neck, didn't she? The necklace in that picture Landon had. And now I think that because he sat there and she knows that creatures are coming after him and they targeted him then, that she must think, yeah, okay, maybe he is part of my family or something. Anyway, it's dead interesting. I actually like how this episode started, to be honest.
I used Landon's bracelet to do a locator spell, but all it located was more trouble.
Hey, can I help you?
Yeah, I hope so. See, what's going on here?
A gas leak. Don't worry, though, we have it under control.
See, we're lost, and we saw you guys. We thought we'd ask for directions. All right, let's go, Jessica.
He wants to see if he knows his location.
Jessica. Really?
That is very smart, Rick.
It seemed like the whole world was chasing Landon.
I'm not stupid. I would have noticed if I was being followed.
The man who gave us the keys, was he right or left-handed?
Nobody notices stuff like that.
3-7 ambidextrous.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Her name's Hope.
Oh, he actually says that he's going out
She'd
with her.
probably kill us both if she heard you calling her my girlfriend.
She sounds tough.
Look who's talking.
Boys like girls, or remind them of their mothers. You, my son, all right.
I knew she'd know as soon as that thing come down the stairs.
I'm looking for Landon Kirby.
And who the hell are you?
Oh, yes,
People who
Hope.
care about him. So tell me where he is before I blow your head off.
There must be Hope.
That was a good scene, that, actually. I do like her.
I like her.
Now you know about us. I think it's time you start filling in some blanks.
When I finished my service in the army, I was recruited by an intelligence organization. I didn't know what I was signing up for, but soon I learned that things like you exist in this world.
This headquarters, where is it?
A few years in, I saw something I shouldn't. I became the hunted. I wanted to know what was happening to the monsters. Spent all that time studying their every move. I couldn't remember them. So I started taking note. Realized my memory was being erased.
What's Malivore?
It's a hell dimension. Consumes creatures and wipes their existence from the collective conscience. Long story. But he said that the knife is one of 3 keys that kept Malivore contained, so why are monsters still coming for you?
I don't know who your father is. My job was stressful, so I had flings to blow off steam. I'm not equipped to be a mother.
Ah, that wasn't the worst part. What she said then is, it's kind of like, if you know Malivore's a thing, it'd be coming after you. If you didn't know it was a thing, you kind of be okay. It's kind of what she said. Do you know what I mean? It's like the more you pursue, the more they're after you. The more you forget, the more you're left alone. It's like if you know it, they'll come. If you don't know it, you might be okay. But again, I've seen a film before where the people are like, let's just call her the hitman. She's the hitman. She goes around, she gets the bad guys, she takes them to prison or whatever. But then when they're in prison, they're all getting murdered. And like, there's a difference in there. Like, you could be her doing your job, catching the bad guys, but you have a bit of a conscience as well. It's like, okay, they are bad guys, but they don't all need to be killed and tortured and all that. And then so you start digging and like, what are these doing? And they're the bad guys. You know what I mean? Like, you go from getting the bad guys to taking them to the good people to just getting a bad guy giving them a bad guy. So it's interesting. And obviously, so what did she see in Malivore that made her obviously become like on the run or whatever? Isn't just going from being the hunter to the hunted? It's interesting. It really is. They said as well, Lizzie and Joel said, was on a trip with Caroline somewhere, which never got told in the last episode, unless I absolutely missed it. But I'm actually really enjoying this episode. And she said that's not even the worst part yet, what's to come. So hopefully there's a couple more. See, I wouldn't mind a couple of creatures in this episode, because we've had 2 without them. Not every episode, but slow and steady wins the race.
Look, I get how hard this is.
You already know everything I know.
I think we both know that's a lie. Just like you lied to Landon about not knowing who his father is.
You have children?
2 girls, so take my hard-earned advice. Tell Landon the truth.
I'm still not sure that I believe what I'm about to say, and I lived it. When I realized I was having memory lapses, I started writing everything down. One day I snuck in by myself, and what I found was a black pit.
That's where he dropped that knife.
Story has it that if Malivore consumes you, you experience endless darkness.
I've been there.
1 second, right? That did not tell me one little bit anything to do with Landon's dad. I didn't mind the conversation, but he asked her who the dad is, and then she just went on telling him about how to get to Malivore.
Landon, I'm really sorry.
Don't be. All I've ever wanted is a family. That you always see me when I'm weak. I'm starting to think I'm a bit of a danger magnet.
Starting to think you're right.
I wrote you letters on the bus. Dear Hope, the state of Alabama has a million awful houses, and I cannot stop thinking of what it felt like to kiss you.
These are cute, you got to admit.
I don't even know how long I was in Malivore. And then one day I found myself back here. I woke up in the middle of nowhere, covered in mud, absolutely no idea. Because there was also a catch. I was pregnant.
Aye, what the hell? That's actually interesting.
You've had crappy girls in your life.
Oh, I've had 0 girls in my life.
My first kiss was with a 90-year-old vampire who helped to murder my mother.
Hope, I will never hurt you again.
You believe me?
My twins were magically transplanted into their mother's womb by a coven of witches.
It was easier for me to leave Landon in a small basket on the steps of a local church. I can't be his mother.
This is a really interesting story, man. As if they're going to try and bang in there when they can walk in. Right. Interesting. Who is his dad? This is a massive question that definitely does need to be asked now. Like, before this episode, I didn't really care who his parents were, but now that we know that it's somebody in Malivore, that is just fascinating. What supernatural creatures can, like, what yeah, has got her pregnant? Because she was a human. She is a human. So he's got a supernatural dad, but what creature is it? That is the big question. Also, I wonder if that guy, the supernatural guy, got her pregnant and he was like, I got pregnant, mate. Let's just boom, 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 get her out of here. Do you know what I mean? Everyone just, you know, like, look into my eyes, look into my eyes. You're forgetting. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a good twist, actually. Didn't expect it. Very interested. Also, I think Rick's really good. I do love the fact that he has been and seen every single situation. He has been a vampire. He's not been a vampire. Do you know what I mean? He's got the kids and the siphons and his dead wife, and she's back, and you know, Caroline, vampire madness. So he understands everything. He's seen it all. So it does make sense when he's like, try me. And they do try him, and he doesn't even react because he knows the school. What the heck? Looks like a fisheye. Oh, okay.
Yeah, get another room. Now.
Get another room.
You're the one that's always saying I need to connect more with people.
Yeah, not literally. Get out. It's perfectly normal. No. Did anyone else tell you otherwise?
Yes, Rick.
We need to talk about your mother.
Pizza run?
Alaric was right. You are a pain.
I'm not the one stealing a car at the moment. Now are you coming with, or do I need to drag your ass upstairs?
Yeah, so.
I never thought I'd see him again. Turns out he's a good person with a crappy life. He deserved better.
Then help make it better. All that he's gonna remember of you is that you abandoned him when he needed you the most.
No, he won't remember me, period.
Hey, these are pretty good, actually.
I've got to check in on them, okay?
Also, ick! What?
You said a necromancer told you the knife was one of 3 keys, right? This is Sayla's. I picked it up, but I didn't steal it. I not on purpose anyway.
I'm sick of playing the same game. So let the monster have it. It'll take it to Malivore. We follow it. We know where it is. Hold that in the car.
Ah, that was smart. Alright, I'm giving a clap for it. That was smart. No, do you know what? I give you a second clap, Hope. That was so smart in putting that tracker inside of that object, and you have to agree with Landon. Yeah, like when he said, I don't remember I get it now. We've seen it. It's the second time. I do believe you. Do you know what I mean? Like, lightning don't strike twice. I mean, it does sometimes, but in this situation, I firmly believe it's not going to happen. And she's going to Malivore now. I didn't suspect she was going to, but Hope's saying she is, so I'm going to believe Hope. Don't know why. But, like, what is she going to do? Like, why is she going there? She said that she wanted to stay off the radar for, well, forever. It's been like 18 years. Now, why would you run directly into the place that threw you into the pit in the first place? You know what I'm saying? So, very interesting. Now, if they do go to Malivore, I want the rest of the school to go. I've got to be consistent on this. I'm not going to backtrack and flip-flop all over the place. The reason why I don't want to solely focus on Hope and her doing everything. Like, I want the vast cast to all play a part, be a team. This is why we're in a school with hundreds of kids and supernaturals, so that everybody plays a role in doing all the good stuff. We can't just focus on Hope, because realistically, this storyline's not even revolved around Hope one bit. Personally, like, look at this. Most of the storylines revolved around Landon. Nearly all of it. Yeah, you got Landon, and then you got Raffi coming off, and then you've got Hope coming off that, yeah. But what has, if you take Hope out on her own, drop her down here, what is Hope's storyline? What is it? She's nothing. Like, and that's not slagging her off. So what I'm saying is we can't focus all the story on Hope. She is just another person in the school in this situation as everybody else, and I would like everybody to jump into it. So I'm really excited, to be honest. I think Hope has had the least amount of story so far, which I don't have a problem with, because I know that she's going to be a big character anyway in the show, and she seems to have most of... when it does come to having the fight, she's always involved.
What if we don't get there in time?
Sayla doesn't have that much of a lead on us.
I can't believe she wants to erase herself just to get out of being a parent.
Try it.
Don't tell me they'd not just noticed that that was a Malivore sign. He's dropping it in the tar.
Hey, stay back. He's dangerous.
I have to get in there.
I'm sure Triad tried to stop her. She sacrificed herself for Landon.
For Landon, mate. I like
and
it.
She was erased.
Right, erased though. Has she not gone to Malivore? This is what I'd like to know, right? If you drop in there, is she erased from memory? So she's jumped in there and they forgot who she is. Is that what they mean when they say that's when she's erased? Because if that's true, then why can they all remember the knife? So that's because the knife dropped into it. So then technically they all should forget about it if that's the case. I'm interested though. If you jump into that pit, that tar, where'd you go? To Malivore? Are you alive? Are you dead? What happens? Because if, you know, what was the purpose of her jumping in there? She's not going to get something on the other side. Oh, I'm assuming that Fishman wasn't supposed to get blown up by that thing.
What happened?
You're telling me right at Malivore and they forgot
For coming to help me.
What I don't understand is why I can't remember how we found you. Any theories?
Work in progress.
Why the change of heart?
Call it a gut feeling.
I want him to get a big embrace from Rafi.
Looking at the fancy new clothes the school gave me, make peace with the fact that I may never meet the woman in that picture.
I think that she's an international assassin.
I fucking knew that she won't get compelled
she
to
loves
it.
you very much. Do you want to be my boyfriend?
Are you serious?
I'm really happy that you're back.
Should probably sleep on it.
No.
I don't remember doing anything you just said.
You'll know because you always know.
Why do you remember?
I don't know,
Wonder if it's because she shot her.
but I can't imagine that it's good.
Oh, how didn't that blow up?
Figured it was better to have it here than to leave it laying around.
Hey, here we go. People found it.
Find this. Floating on the surface.
My question is, why does that thing not have a barrier around it? Why could anybody just fall and trip into it? You know what I mean? Also, who is this guy? And second, it's not information that he didn't already know. He was already after Landon. He was already after his mum, yeah? What she called Sheila or something. He knew who they was, and that's why he was there at the house with the cover-up the first time that Rick spoke to him. So finding this picture is nothing to him. Surely he knows who they are, and he's got, you know, background checks and information on them already. I'm interested with it, that Hope, she can remember, none of them can't. And I wonder if it's because she shot her with that thing, but then it wouldn't make sense because I feel like she said, you won't remember me, boom, and like he won't either, and shot her. But I kind of want it to be because she's Michelson. Like I did say a couple minutes ago, Hope's not really been involved in many of the storylines revolving around her. She has been involved a lot in like helping everybody else when it comes to fighting all of the supernatural. She's been in all of them, but in terms of like a single soul storyline, like Liz and Joe said they've got one, yeah. MG and Sol and Caleb are slowly getting one. We've got Rafi and Landon with one. Hope doesn't really have a storyline. I'm not blaming it at all, but what I'm saying is, it's interesting because there's loads of potential there. She's still in the show a lot. She's still in, like, with all the characters. You know, she's had time with Landon and the girls and with Raph last episode. So there's lots of progression that she can have and we can give her more. I would like the Michelson name to mean a little bit more in this show. Not that I want, like, I don't want this show to be hinged on the fact that it's part of the Vampire Diaries and the Michelsons and the originals, but I do think that she was bigged up to be the Tribid, to be this superior, and I would like it to have some sort of, you know, some sort of impact and meaning, some benefits, because so far we haven't really seen no benefits of her being this Tribid and Michelson. The only thing that she got from it is she could sit herself on the school council because there was no one else to represent them. So again, another interesting thing with lots of potential possibly for Hope, so it does excite me. And that is going to wrap up today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was a good episode. To be honest, yeah, I think this show's got better as the episodes have increased. I'm actually enjoying the series, no lie. I really am enjoying it. I'm liking all the different characters. I like the storyline with Landon, and I'm so happy that Landon and Hope are actually together now. No teasing, nothing. We've had it a few times where it looks like they was going to be together, and they've kissed in a couple of episodes, and I was like, look, they just need to be together. I definitely said in a couple of episodes back that I would be really disappointed if they didn't end up together, because it's not like they pushed it, as in like forced it, as in they've just made it a storyline, these two as a couple. And like, I would like a storyline where these just stay together throughout the whole entirety of the show. You don't have to have every couple break up, have troubles. You can have one that makes the other person better. You know, Elijah made Klaus better. Yeah, okay, there wasn't a couple, but there was a couple. And they bounced off each other, and they was both better being together. This is what I like from these. I think that Hope and Landon are both like lonely / bit strange characters, which works really well together. Like, they both click, and it both works out well. I'm very interested in the fact that Hope isn't one of the people that lost her memories. Now, I was wondering what that He-Man, he got blew up. Now, I'm assuming that wasn't supposed to happen, and it was obviously on the signs. It did say that there was trip mines there, and I'm guessing that he's gone in and he's just stood on a mine and it's blew up and killed him. But it hasn't killed that, what did they call it, pottery or whatnot. How has that not been damaged? Literally, the guy was holding it when it absolutely blew up in his face. So, I mean, that is an interesting one. That's the second key that they've got to defend now. They did lose the knife. They've got this. Who's going to be coming for it? Very interested. Didn't mind the supernatural stuff being in this episode. We had 2 episodes prior to just like human characters. We had a little bit of the supernatural here, but not, you know, not too much that's overwhelming and it's like too out the way. Yeah, we had a He-Man and that, but it didn't really do anything. It was just there for a bit of CGI. But the storyline behind Landon and his mum, and like, you know, where he's come from, and Malivore, he's got a supernatural dad. Who is it? You know what I mean? Like, how did she get out of Malivore? This is the thing that was never actually told to us. She got put in there and she was in the hell, but then she woke up 2 years later on a field, pregnant, with nobody remembering who she was. And it's like, how interesting is that? She didn't even know how she got pregnant. So who's his dad? Very interested to find that out. Again, that is a good storyline, which doesn't even need to be pursued yet, because we've got so much stuff going on. We're getting to Malivore, and we've got Hope storyline, obviously them together. We've got like Raph, he can embrace with Landon, and they can progress a little bit. You know, we've still got the MG one. Is he going to be a Ripper? Is he not? And the Caleb, and then we've got the Lizzie and Josie. You know, not even been in 2 episodes now. They've been on a trip with Caroline. So we don't even need to address his dad yet. We've got so much going on that we can bring people in, just tie little things here and there, make a few little connections. You can go after the 3rd key, and then when they get to Malivore, they can go after his dad. So it's just loads of information that we've been given. See, this is what I think what I like about this show is that it's quite a lot of information that gets given to you, but also there's a little bit of action that's revolving around constantly as well. So like, it doesn't need to be like high-paced, crazy action, loads of fighting, but it's like, sometimes you get programs where you have one episode, there's loads of action, another episode, you get loads of information. And like, sometimes if you're not a big fan of the information episodes, you might think, oh, that's a bit boring, that one. Do you know what I mean? Nothing went on. And then if you like, you get bored of too much fighting, you could be like, God, why are they fighting every episode? It's just rinse and repeat, fight after fight. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we need a bit more. This is a good blend. You've got a bit of action, bit of info, bit of action, bit of info, storytelling. You know, we're progressing consistently. I like continuity as well. So the fact that we tied in this GPS with Hope and Landon, and they found him later on, Hope got the GPS again, put it inside the pot, tracked after it. To me, that is good continuity. It brings a relevance to information that we get given a few episodes ago. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you drop me some evidence and then 5 episodes later you've tied it back and you've made it actually like a substantial part of the story, it's like, get in there. I'm so happy that you give me that information, because it makes sense, and this show has done a pretty good job at doing that with different parts and different people so far, so I'm excited with that. I did enjoy today's episode. Hopefully you guys did too. If you did enjoy it, please smash a like. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.